Hey, this is Thursday, December 18th and Friday, December 18th. As we get into class, my advanced class, we're going to review the end of whatever you call this thing, the Outsiders book and the deathing of people and stuff like that. And the answer is no, they're not okay. That's an easy answer. I do have more chat challenge for you. You hopefully saw that random, weird, deranged message that BB chose to send out. And so that is the joy. If you win chat challenge, I send out your message on remind, however strange it may be. Then Macnell, that would be ironic. I wish you the best of luck with that one. What's the name? I know, that's what I thought so too, Owen. But it was weird. I just didn't want you guys to feel like you had to, because I'm going to keep grading over break. As long as you guys will turn stuff in, I will grade it. So for those of you who don't have things in yet, I'm happy to keep grading for you. All right. Spirit Week, Among Us. Go you guys who represented with your Among Using already. Nicely done. It really entertained me. And then tomorrow is Ugly Sweater Day, which is depressing because you won't get to see my ugly sweater, which has a kitten on it. Not a live kitten. That'd be weird. Like chicken, like the whole time I'm trying to teach, is like sitting there screaming. That'd be weird. There's I got like a little kitten on there and stuff like that. But again, if you send me pictures of you tomorrow, I will put you onto CTV and submit that. So I will send that out and say, hey, submit your own adorable pictures and you're good to go. All right. Outsiders, and then blah, 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 bookie book thing, Outsiders page. If you don't know it by now, blah, 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 blah. And then the IXL, again, you can still turn it in. As far as my grades, my English grades do not lock for me until January. If you want to turn in work over break, you may. I mean, given there's all of like 4 of you who are missing things. But my only thing along those lines is do not drive yourself insane. If you're missing work for me and you have a grade that you're happy with, seriously, move on. It's junior high English. You'll survive. It is not going to break my heart if you leave missing assignments. I'm not going to spend break crying. It's more if you want to get it done to raise your grade, go for it. I'm absolutely fine with that. And yes, Jaden, I agree. They're adorable, especially when stapled to a sweater. All right. Here are our current chat challenge competitors. Although realize this has changed dramatically. This was at the end of Monday, Tuesday. I had no chat challenge on Wednesday, but the big change was first period. I only had 3 kids who read the book. So those 3 kids answered every question. So they got every single question right because there was only 3 of them. So they went on a streak. Now, the good news is they started really low, but the bad news is they won everything. So they're definitely way up there now. So we'll see what happens. This one happens when you're in a class with a whole bunch of lazy children who just sit there and stare at me. But it gives you an idea for those of you who are on the list. I have my 3 column, my 4 column, and then those of you in the 5 column. And apparently we have no one in this class on the 5 column. The highest ones in here is the 4 column, which is Sito and Talbot. So I wish you luck. All right. And then the checklist checkpoint for today, we're going to talk about end of book. We're going, the quiz is 5 questions longer. It is 20 questions as opposed to 15. And so hopefully it should still be fairly easy. The idea being is I gave you a slightly bigger quiz to help bump up your grade because I'm hoping it's an easy quiz. And then you guys have this like last really big grade to help bump you for those of you who want it. But fingers crossed is what I was going for. All right. Ooh. Elena, definitely ask. I think you'd be great. Plus, you get to see me on occasion, which is like an even bigger bonus on that one. So, yay. Macnell, I'm going to agree. That is absolutely no cap. For those of you who get a chance to watch the Outsiders movie, one, it's a good movie. I know teachers are supposed to be like, you're not supposed to watch the movies of the book. But if you can find the Outsiders movie that connects to the book, it's a really good movie. And, the dudes that are in it, they're good looking. They're all like a whole bunch of hotties and stuff like that. Listen, game respects game. And so don't shake your head no so strongly on that one. But they are. They're handsome fellas. Now, given it was like from like 40 years ago. I mean, so now they're all like old. You're like, oh my God, they're so uggo. But we're back. Cooper, I'm right here. Don't make a grown man cry. Possibly rye. That is a thing I could definitely consider. That is something I could go to. All right. So this is for those of you who have finished the book. I thought I would not throw up, throw on a little meme for you that just seemed to connect. It sort of made me happy. The whole leave me so I can cry over the deaths of fictional characters. Not crying over Bob, but crying over those other two characters. That seemed to be the whole, but I had people who sent me messages, Mr. Broviak, you made me cry. And I'm like, yeah, finally. And so we got a chance to our bonding on that one. Elena.
This is literally me in almost not every book, but internally.
You should stop.
At least. Only 3 books have made me cry externally.
Nate, Ponyboy died. That was like the huge thing in chapter 12, where it switches who it's following. He dies at the end. How'd you not get that far? And then Matt, no, how'd you cry during the movie also? You know what happens. You know Ponyboy has the gunshot thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, Ponyboy a second time. Oh my God, what's wrong? There, I don't even know what's wrong. Anyway, so let's jump into our chat challenge. And we'll try to get through this. Why are you, Greta, settle down, child. What's wrong with you people? I mean, I know the answer, but Watkins, why do you look scared of me?
Wait, so in the second one, he dies?
No, in Outsiders. At the end of Outsiders.
I'm lost and confused. And
Watkins, can you see me on the screen? Okay. Ponyboy dies. Okay, now you're with me? Okay, I said, all right, I'm glad to see we're on the same page. That did not go where I thought it was going to go at all. I pranked the wrong person. Hashtag the trouble with good kids. Sophia.
Ponyboy dies? I thought it was Johnny and
Good to know.
Daddy.
I'm not. Good to know.
You're not supposed
I'm
to
not
spoil
the
it. That's
only-
probably the chat challenge.
It was. The chat challenge was, how does Ponyboy die? And you're going to set, and the answer, of course, was going to be, he stays at a house with a creepy lady. And you're like, why would he stay at the house with a creepy lady? Everybody
But
knows.
didn't you just say he died of a gunshot?
Well, yeah, because she shot him. What do you think creepy ladies do? It's like you guys didn't even read these.
Look, this is my Bob Ross bobblehead. Isn't it fun?
Did you
Okay,
guys
who
only
actually
stop
read
at
the
page
book?
180? It reads on that Ponyboy dies, obviously.
Obviously. All right. So
There were more pages? I thought it was just Dally and
they're
Johnny that died.
lying.
Stop giving it away. These might be chat challenges.
page 180. It's the end of the book. It's not the very
Did
end.
they die or not?
Well, let's find out. We have learning to do. Hang on a second. Let's do this one. Let's go with Sophia. Can you hear me right now, Sophia? All right, this is just for you. I'm gonna help you out with something. Ready? Alexa, play It's Raining Tacos. That was just for you. All right, as we continue. So as we get into it, did it work on Parker also? Oh, it's like now, by the way, you guys don't have to get me any Christmas presents. I just got my Christmas presents right there. That was like an absolute win and brought me happiness. Oh, best day ever. Anyway, back to here. So they have the Rumble. That's where I left off with you guys before. They're getting ready to go do the Rumble. And when we get to the Rumble, we're going to have to throw down between the Socias and the Greasers. I think I could add a chat challenge to this. Hang on. Olivia, that's not a full question. You stopped halfway through your question. All right, and then, wow, you guys are throwing shade at each other. No, not that, wrong thing. And then let's go to chat challenge. There we go. Let's go with, so in the giant Rumble that is going to happen between, by the way, Eli, I do like the hat you have going on yours for the whole thing. I just want to let you know. The chat for the Rumble they have between the Socias and the Greasers. Here's your chat challenge. What is it the Socias have to agree to if they lose? If the Socias lose, what is it they have to agree to? And Watkins, you are correct. Yes, Watkins. Okay. I did not expect that to go the way it did. I can't wait till I teach my advanced class Thur tomorrow and see what happens. All right, ready? Mr. Broviak, did you just throw shade at us? I did. All right, and our first chat challenge is, it is out. Let's see what happens. And the correct answer is they have to leave the greaser territory and they cannot stay there any longer. They have to leave Greaser Town. And they said their side is correct. Which Olivia is this? Mackie. Hang on, Rush. I see you. I'm getting there. So Macnell is now at 4 wins and give up their territory. Makes sense. All right. Miller, I'll give it to you. I had to read it out loud to make sense. To get out of Greaser territory hits. That's also correct. And then, hang on. Rush was 4th. So they got out of each other's side of town. And Rush, that got you a B point. That was your first B point win. Go you, Rush. All right, and let's see. And then Rye, you were 5th. Rush, what's up, Rush?
You have confused me.
You're welcome.
Does Ponyboy die at the end?
We're going to
Finish
keep talking.
reading.
Let me keep teaching, and we'll find out when we talk about it. Oh, my goodness. Leave. Ooh.
Did you not read that part?
She did. She's just still confused. And then to there, Eli, I didn't think anyone would read my whole statement. That's why I put that in there, because I figured most of you guys just ignore me. And here we go. This is a 2-part question. You have to get both parts to get your chat challenge points. So the both part is who starts the rumble for the greasers and who starts it for the socias. It is 2 people. And yes, she is confused, but we're going to forgive her. It's okay. It's what she gets for trusting teachers. You should never trust teachers. They're awful and horrible people. Everyone knows that. All right, ready? I'm assuming some of you might have to look up the answer for the Soch one. I mean, the greaser one you can probably know, but the Soch one, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys had that one memorized. If so, go you. All right, and ooh, interesting. And chat challenge my hash not by hand. You got to now. And whoa, maybe no one got both of them. Oh, no, we did. Someone did get it. Okay. And the correct answer is not Johnny. It is not Paul and Derry, not Derry and Ted, and not, it is this Macnell stepping in. It is, she is now at 5 wins. Derry and Paul, a guy who shows up in that one scene who used to be Derry's best friend, Derry and Paul. Eli, you are my 2nd winner. Go Eli. And Eli is now also at 5 wins. And you, Owen, you are halfway there. Senor is my 3rd winner. Senor, go you, who is also at 4 wins. And so let's see, do I have anyone who's Derry? Not Derry and Tom. Rye, you already won. And do I have any other new ones? And Zeke, you win yourself a B point. You are my first non-B point winner on there so far. Derry and Paul, go you. Yes, you are correct. Randy did not fight. He was against it. Derry's the one that steps up because he's all big and strong and stuff like that. I have no idea what's up with Pink. And then Paul was his best friend when he was in school. And basically, he's the big tough one. They throw the big tough people at each other. Basically, it's Vin Diesel versus The Rock in our battle for the Fast and the Furious to see who's going to beat each other up. And we get to, but Derry and Paul do not want to punch each other because they used to be friends. So they just walk around staring at each other and doing that creepy staring at each other face thing. So the question is, someone shows up late and runs out there going, "It can't be a rumble with me. What up?" And starts yelling into it. And then all of a sudden, Paul just like wussy punches Derry right in the back of the head. Bam! And that drops him down, and that starts the rumble. So who comes running in then? All right, there. Ready? And who shows up late? And the answer is boom, it's out. And the correct answer should be, wow, Rye, a very detailed answer. Dally and Rye. All right. Wow, Chase feeling confident on that one. And Chase taking first. Look at the celebration. The crowd goes wild. Well done, Chase. That boy is not going to be stopped. He's at 3 wins. And Rutsito with a win brings her to 5. And Savannah, not to be outdone. Savannah now at 2 and gets the B point. And wow, Macnell, a little judgy on that one. And that's all right. And I'm going to go Rye. I'm throwing you a point also because you did give full name of Dallas Dally Winston, which was not required, but I'm impressed. I'm going to give you the point for that one. So go you. Then, oh, curse your fingers. You still got the point though. Oh, Elena, I think that is very honest of you. I mean, maybe you should stop attacking people, but it's honest of you to accept your own issues. Wow. And then Owen throwing shade. Hey, don't make me get involved in this. This is like a regular Soch Creaser throwdown going on in here. And then to there. Wow. So what I understand is, Elena, you are comparing Owen to a Soch because he wins all the time. And you're saying, how can I even compete with Talbot, who's a Soch? Wow. It's almost like a compliment. We have a right to attack him. Again, you guys are just saying Owen is a Soch. And wow, he just ooh-woos you. I'm going to throw back an oh-oh and see what happens. All right, and then we have the thing get started. And ooh, all right. Another two-part question. You're going to get both parts in here. So Pony Boy gets to fight, and in the whole thing, oh, that's ridiculous. No one oh-woos. And on here, who normally helps Pony fight, but does not help him this time. And because that person does not help him and refuses to help him, who steps in to be his fight buddy? Everyone knows you can't get into a fight without a fight buddy, so that you can run around and like team up and beat people. Are you smacking the ceiling, Squidkins? What are you doing, child? All right, and then to there. So who is his old fight buddy and who is new fight buddy? All right, ready? And challenge is out. And then the correct answer should be Johnny was his old buddy, and then Johnny refuses to help him now, and so it becomes Dally. Mr. Broviak, why would Johnny refuse to help? Because he's not real good at being mobile. That whole being I mean, he could help. If Pony Boy went to the hospital, he could have picked up Johnny and like grabbed him by the feet and like swung him around like that. Like, he could just like knock down all the Sochs that ran at you. I mean, you could definitely use him as a weapon, but probably not the most useful thing. Tim Shepard's brother and Soda. It is incorrect. It was a no. It was Johnny. Now Derry is correct. Uh-oh. And then the Soch stepping in for the 5 wins. Good job, Soch. Johnny, new Dally. Maybe now Dally. But Sito, you're still good to go. Sito is now at 6 wins. And after Sito, who's next is Rye, who is now officially on the board at 5 wins. And who we have? Dally or Soda? And no. Derry Steve. No. Johnny. Now Dally. Has Lau won yet? Lau has won. Do I have a first-time winner? Not Soda. Usually Johnny, but down. Carson has won before. I'm making sure. Eli has also won before, and he doesn't refuse. He technically does by not being able to go. And Connolly, that won you a B point. Connolly is officially on the board. Go you, Connolly. Oh, auto-corrected. And then Tim Shepard's brother was not there. He was in jail. And they talk about the thing that's why Curly could not be there, because Curly was in jail. All right, and into there. And then I agree. A true. Did you just quote me, Eli? You did quote me. Into there. All right. Owen. Soch, you're now at 5. You're officially at 5. Yes, that's what jail is. A reformatory in the cooler is jail. That's slang. You act like you guys have never been to jail before. What kind of kid doesn't go around not getting arrested? You guys are just wasting your life. So yeah, Curly was in jail. All right, 2. No, I'm not gonna do that one. We know Greasers end up winning that one. Why do they win? Well, I can't really make that into a question. But I will tell you, the reason that they win is because sort of like the American Revolution, we have the Americans fighting the British, and the fact that essentially the Americans had more to lose. We were more scared and didn't want to get killed, and the Greasers were the same way. They were more scared and wanted to get not killed, and so they went for that one. You do get 3 points for being a chat challenge champion. You are correct. And it's not Tim that cheats with the pipe, but you're close. It was a different group. It was one of the Brumley boys who showed up with a pipe, and one of the Brumley boys shows up with a pipe, and that's when he gets beat up by his own friends. All right, and then, ooh, hang on a second. All right, I'm gonna throw a question out there, but I don't think anyone's gonna get it right. If you do get it right, I'm gonna give you 2 points, because I think this is a thinky question. So if you get this one right, this is gonna get you 2 points. There is a specific answer I am looking for on this one, all right? So one of the Brumley boys shows up and with a pipe and uses a pipe in the fight. He then gets beat up by other greasers afterwards. My question is, why were all the other greasers so upset that he brought a pipe? Hang on. It's not because it was against the rules. If that's what you're typing, it's not because it was against the rules. You have to think deeper than that. There is a reason, because him using a pipe demonstrates something. And so it's because of what it demonstrated, that's why they beat him up. So if you know that answer, you want to go for it. If you win, this is a 2-point win if you get it. I fully expect no one to get it, but we're going to find out. So the Brumley boys beat up one of their own when he uses a pipe. And the question is, why would they beat him up? Because it's not like they really care about rules, but him using a pipe indicates something. So what does that indicate or show? All right, let's find out. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm a little scared. And chat challenge is out. Ooh, let's find out. And let's go with, I don't want to give it away in case someone gets it on here. And let's go with, let's see. That means they were afraid of one. Dang, I was wrong. Macnell, you get it for 2 points. You are correct. Hang on, I'm gonna give it to you. So Macnell is now at 7. Hang on a second. There's their friend. No, they should all, the greasers are no, nope. And hang on. And nope. And nope. And whoa, hang on. Not quite. You're close, Savannah. I liked your thinking though. Other one went. Ooh, Ledford. I'm giving it to you also. So Ledford, this brings you up to 4 wins. No, and no. Ooh, hang on. Hang on. Lau, I'm going to give it to you also because you are along those same lines, Lau. So I'm giving you the 2 points on that one too. So the answer I'm going for is by using that pipe, it demonstrated that they were scared of the socias, because the only reason they would bring a pipe is to show that you are scared and the socias are better than you. So that's why they beat him up. By him bringing a pipe, it demonstrated that the greasers were scared. So that's why they ended up beating him up. And the other greasers like, how dare you show them that we're scared of them? Because whichever side shows up with a weapon, you only, like if I got into a fight with a kindergartner, I should not bring a weapon to that fight unless I'm scared of the kindergartner. And I'm like, he could bite my ankles and be all afraid of it. Whereas like if the kindergartner got into a fight with me, he'd best bring a weapon. I don't know, like a toothpick or something like that. So that's why it comes into it. All right, so let's go to here. Why does Ponyboy go to the hospital after the rumble? So he goes, he's in the middle, and then to there. So why does he go to the hospital after the rumble? All right, so there. Why do I want to fight a kindergartner? Because I want to fight, I can finally win. I'm getting tired of getting beat up by 3rd graders. I figure a kindergartner have a better chance of taking. Excuse me. All right. Thank you, Senor. All right. There. All right. What the hecky? Senors, yours might have been. It was just farther down the list. All right. Ready? And chat challenge. Let's sign up. And you are correct. Ooh, it was not the concussion. I mean, given it should have been because of the concussion, but it was not because of the concussion. Because, you know, him being all tough, he would not have done it. It was to check on Johnny Cade. So he wanted to go check on Johnny. Something about the Johnny was why he ends up going. I mean, given the concussion's a big part of it too. Soch, you got the point. Go you. Soch kicked him. No. Concussion. No. And concussion. Nope. He was really sick. I agree. And he should have gone for that, but that's not why. And Retsito, you were my second one that came in. So Retsito is now at 7 wins. And who's my 3rd one? And Senor, that was you, I see. Senor is now officially at 5 wins. Let's see, do I have any new winners? No. He is dizzy. I agree. He was hurt. And Zeke, you have now 1. And, well, I mean, it's Ledford's right, but sad. And Maddie has 1 already. And I'm glad you be a bad Soch. That's later on, Macnell. That's farther into the book. That's what you're thinking about. So now after the rumble, that's later when he goes to the hospital. He does go twice. I mean, technically 3 times. After the fire, after the rumble, and then after the Dally scene. All right, and then to there. And Nona, All right, so who was my first one that got that one? Dang it, who was my first kid? I have to go all the way back to rewind. Braga, 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 Braga. And it was someone, the name, I remember, it was all happy. And, oh, it was the Soch. Soch, that got you an extra B point. Go you. All right, and then to there. So much scrolling. Stop it. Yes, you are a chat challenge champ. Way to brag. All right, so that gives me Talbot. All right. Ready? And wow, is that like an extreme ooh-woo? I have no idea. It looks like a front of a car. And ooh, this one also, I am looking for a specific kind of answer. When it says, what does it mean when we get to that scene with Johnny and Johnny dies in the hospital? And he's like, Pony boy, stay. Go, Pony boy, stay. Go. And it's like, ah, and dies. And you're like, no, Mr. Broviak, why? And you threw your book against the wall. And you're like, I hate everybody. So there you go. And so the idea of what is the stay gold mean? And on this one, realize a lot of you are going to be really upset because you're going to type answers and I might not be accepting all of them, but there's like a specific area I'm going for in this one. All right, and then like Eli's is good, but it's not exactly what I was going for on that one. But it's not bad. All right, ready? And challenge is out. Let's see what you guys came up with. Ooh, all right, some of you guys are correct. I see that several correct answers. All right, let me scroll up and see who do we have. All right. Seto, don't put a question mark. It makes it look like you don't know what you're talking about. Exclamation marks and flexing. You're not quite there, but ooh, Chase, you are dead on, Chase. So Chase with another win on that one, and I see celebrating. All right, Chase is now at 4 wins, and let's see, and Squidkins, do not shut out the squid. Stepping in with that one also. Good job, Squiddles. And let's see, after Squiddles, it'll be bad. And let's see, not quite. That means like something of yourself and don't stay it. Ooh, hang on. I'm going to count that one. Who is that? Macnell, I'm going to count yours also. Not quite where I was going, but I like the way you put it. So I'm going to count that one too. So the idea is to stay young, stay happy, to not get hardened. Don't become like Dally. Don't hate the world. Don't be angry. Stay in that good place in your life. Imagine that you are all the time in 4th period chat. That's what stay golden is. Imagine that happiness you have from 4th period chat and just embrace it nonstop. Let's see. So Maddie, you were my 4th place one, and ooh, who's my other Olivia? Ledford, you were my 5th place one. Go you. All right. The other ones, did not lose. Did not, wow, Elena. I mean, that's true, but it hurts. Chase, that also earned you a B point. Wait, I had not gotten in there yet, and I don't think I have any new people I'm seeing. And nope, no new people. All right, I want to make sure if I have a new person jump in, you get a point, but apparently it's all the same people. Let's see, I don't see yours. Yours was just later than that, Owen, so I hadn't gotten down to you yet. Say, you're on the right track, Owen, but it was more than just the staying safe. It was more the stay happy and don't get bitter. And that was more, so that was more what I was looking for. All right. So there, all right. Then we have the scene where Johnny dies. Ooh, this is not a chat challenge question, but it is another one of the scenes I enjoy. So, ooh, hang on, no, I lied. I am going to make it a chat challenge question, and then I'm going to talk about the scene. All right. So Johnny dies. Dally freaks out and rage quits. He's like, I quit, and then just like walks out and leaves. Problem is, Dally was Ponyboy's way of getting there. A heater is a gun. It's a boom boom is what a heater is. And so Dally rage quits and just leaves him there on his own. So now Ponyboy has a concussion, and he just watched his best friend die in front of him. But he has to get home. How does Ponyboy get home from the hospital after watching his best friend die and having a concussion? How does he manage to get home to tell his family? Because that is another one of the scenes I really enjoy, which we'll talk about here in a moment. Because while you're reading it, hopefully while you read it, you got to this part, like, Mr. Broviak, this could take a really dark turn. Is if you're reading a book, you're like, if it was a book written nowadays, that is not what would happen. But back then, it was a happier time, and you could do this and not make it a scary thing. Ready? And chat challenge. And there. Ooh, Sophia, you're okay, Sophia. Settle down, Tiger. You look so happy. Let's find out. And it should be, it was not walking home. A mid-aged sad man. I mean, yeah, all right, he wants to ride home in their car. Sito, I'm going to give it to you. Random stranger giving him ride home. So Sito is at 8. He does not walk home, but a good try. He finds Chase, you're so mid-aged sad man. I'll give it to you, Chase. All right, I mean, I'm not sure he was middle-aged, but to you guys, he was probably middle-aged. Hang on, JC, I see you. Hang on. Not policeman, not walking home. Ride from stranger, Wheezy. I'm going to give you 2 points on that because that was exactly the answer I was going for. So you got a random ride from a stranger, and then kind stranger takes him home. Rye, well done. Also, Rye, I'm going to go ahead and give you a point. Rye, you're at 6. All right, you're correct. Do I have any other new people? Sophia, you were right. Rush, I'm going to give you a point on that one too, because you gave me more details. So go Rush, I'm going to give you the points on that one on the details. And then, all right, and then Eli, and then, yes, all right. All right, JC, what's up? Never mind, JC, we tried. All right, let's go with, so reading the book, this is where he's walking home and a random man pulls up next to him and just goes, hey, kid, you want to get in my car and get a ride home? And Ponyboy's like, yes, random stranger, I do want to get into your white van. And he just gets into the white van of a random guy driving home. Nowadays, if we were reading that book, you're like, Mr. Broviak, this book's about to get real creepy. But in the book, it turns out to be okay, except that Ponyboy bleeds all over the man's car. Again, if we were reading a book and I was like, there's going to be a scene where the main character gets in the car with a random man and then bleeds all over the place, you're going to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But it turns out he was just bleeding out of his ears from a concussion. And apparently that's a bad thing. And the guy just gives him a ride home. And then he gets out and he was like, I'm going to go inside now. And that's when we get to even more bad news. We're going to skip. On this one, I'm not making that a chat challenge, but realize with Johnny, he does not die from his injuries. What Johnny dies from is giving up. The fact is, he's never going to walk again. He's got burns all over his body. And you guys ever read books, TV shows, movies, and you see that thing like they're hurt really bad, but they've got a fighting spirit and they're pulling through. And so they end up pulling through and you're like, yay, happiness. Well, you ever asked yourself, what if they don't have a fighting spirit? Johnny doesn't have a fighting spirit because he realizes best case, if he lives, he spends the rest of his life paralyzed, living with parents who beat him on a regular basis. So he kind of commits suicide by just giving up and just being like, and stopping, which is why he ends up dying. So it's not from the injuries as much as he just does not want to keep living and just stops fighting to stay alive. All right. We just did that one. Never mind. And, ready? Here's your next chat challenge. Dally does not take Johnny's death well. As we learned earlier, Johnny is Dally's golden thing. Johnny is what keeps Dally sane and makes Dally happy. Dally rage quits and runs out of the hospital. He then goes and makes a really poor choice. So my question is, what really poor choice does Dally do right after Johnny dies? So what poor choice does Dally do when he goes through and rage quits after Johnny's death? You cannot tell me that was not a rage quit. That is like a real life rage quit when Dally just punches the wall. He's like, punchy, punchy, and then he just runs away screaming. All right, ready? I think all the fingers are done typing. I'm trying to watch. Never mind. I have a kid screaming at me, still typing. All right, now I'm watching your eyeballs. What is wrong with your eyes, child? They're going all over the place. All right. Oh my goodness, great. Are we good? Are we good now? I keep watching your eyes. It's creepy. All right, and then to there. This is what I imagine it was like watching a person die. Because like your eyes like the entire time. All right, are we? No, now your others are people trying to do it too. You're all freaking me out. All right, are we good now? All right, you're gonna have to be. And chat challenge. My God, I hope you're one of the first ones. You typed like a paragraph. Let's find out. And oh, you guys went a little far. I wasn't trying to go all the way to the deathy thing yet. I just wanted to go to the pre-deathy thing. Wow, I've got it. Wow, that was a lot of people. And you did write a pair. Wow. All I was going for was the grocery store scene. You guys like wrote entire paragraphs. Soch, that was you. Nicely done. You did take first. And who's second is Savannah was second, even though she used the word popo, which does make me giggle. Good job, Savannah, with your popoing. All right, and then let's see. And who's third? And Rutsito, you were my third one. So Rutsito is now at 9. I'm not the one that's in control of your ping. All right, and then Chase was 4th. Maddie was 5th. I haven't gotten to, and then Eli, then is that Macnell? Then Macnell, then Squidkins. Ooh, you did write a paragraph, and then all I wanted was the grocery store. And then Sophia, you were at, I'm sorry, runs away and steals something from the store. Then still, you guys are correct, and no other new people. You were way past third on mine, Eli. I know. I apologize. I have no control over that. I can only do what pops up on my screen. The world is awful. But yes, he robs grocery store. And then after robbing grocery store, he then does do shooty thing. I have Brovy art. Hang on. Ooh, this is not. Ooh, I'm not sure. I don't think I can turn that into a chat challenge. Hang on. All right. There's more one I want to explain. I'm not turning that one in. Wow, I take that as a compliment. So with the death of Dally, and we're almost done with the book, by the way. And then to here, with the death of Dally, when he calls his friends and make them come watch him, the reason he calls all of the Curtis boys and stuff like that is that realize when he goes and gets shot by the popos and hears him pulling out the gun and the popos show up and the popos are like, no, why are you pointing a gun at us? They're like, well, we have a better gun than you. So they pull out their guns and he's like, fake shooting. And then they do not fake shooting and they shoot Dally and he dies and it's really sad. But Dally called all of his friends to make them watch that one. So essentially, he goes out there and commits suicide. The reason he makes them watch him commit suicide is he wants them to know why he did it. He doesn't want them to think it's because that, like he was doing it because he was dumb. He wants them to know it was because of Johnny. Dally's not good at emotions. Well, I mean, I know he's a teenage boy, duh. But beyond even just being a teenage boy, he's bad at showing emotions. But he does care about his friends. And so he wants them to know this was his way of saying goodbye. But he wants all the other greasers to think that he was like 19 or 20. Yeah, I agree. And so he wants all the other greasers like Tim Shepard and the Brumley boys to think he went out the coolest way possible. And the coolest way for him to go out is to then get shot by the popos, which is why he then makes his friends come watch, because he figures if they see it happen and they get to watch it, then they'll understand why it happened and the fact that he was doing it for Johnny, which is why that was his way of saying goodbye to them. I'm sure you probably did, Owen. I was afraid it'd be kind of weird and you guys would write like an entire page. So that was why Dally made them watch. Now realize, all right, as soon as Dally dies, Ponyboy passes out, just hits the ground. He's like, and is out. Realize everything in this book, from that opening scene with him getting beat up to now, is in the course of 1 week. This is 7 days that all of this has occurred, which is crazy to think back that any one of these things would be like mind-blowing for you guys. I mean, from the fact of getting jumped and almost beat up, to getting slapped by his brother, to flirting with a bunch of really hot girls, to then getting almost drowned, to then finding out that they're getting beat up, to then running away, to then hiding out in a church, to then having to eat Dairy Queen, to then having the church burned down, running into a burning church, then getting to throw children outside of windows, and then having a church fall on top of him, have his best friend get crushed, and then going into a rumble, getting a concussion, getting kicked in the head, and then watching his best friend die, and then coming home, having to tell his family, hey, my best friend just died, and then having to go out and watch this other person who was technically a friend at this point get shot right in front of him. At some point, your brain just goes, no, and shuts down. And that's what happens. And Ponyboy just goes, and then just passes out. And that's when he ends up having all of these issues. He passes out, and then that's when it gets real weird at the end of the book, or he gets into an argument with Randy. Good luck trying to get this class to chill out. And then the Randy visit where they go back and forth and argue. And as much as I'd like to, I'm gonna have to wrap it up fast because I'm eating up all your time. I'm gonna give you guys time to take the quiz. I'm gonna try and be speedy now. I know, I apologize. By the way, if you're giving me speed up hand, just dip now. Go take the quiz. I'm okay. I'll forgive you. If you want to dip now to go take quiz, I'm not going to take it personally, and that is fine with me. I was just going to try and talk about, for those of you who want to talk about end of book, and if I will try to help you out because if you got confused, especially with the Randy scene, when Randy shows up and Randy and Ponyboy get into that big argument, and Ponyboy's like, I killed Bob. And Randy's like, no, you didn't kill Bob. He's like, I killed Bob. And so, all right, realize how broken Ponyboy is at this point. He's trying to find a happy place. And so his best friend died, and he wants to bring Johnny back to life. But by bringing Johnny back to life, that means someone had to murder Bob. So Ponyboy has to find a happy way to bring Johnny back. His only happy way to bring Johnny back is if someone else killed Bob. But there's only one other person there, and that was Ponyboy. So Ponyboy convinces himself he killed Bob. And then that way Johnny is alive and Johnny is innocent and Ponyboy tries to stay good. The problem is Ponyboy didn't kill Bob, which is what confuses Randy when Randy comes by to talk to him and stuff like that. And no, mental breakdowns are not fun. So that was the fight between the two of them, which is why then he also has to go to court. Ooh. All right, I'll throw another chat challenge for those of you who are still here. And Chase, no Chase, you're actually at 5 wins, Chase. All right, here's my next chat challenge. So Ponyboy has to go to court. He thinks he's going to court for the whole Bob being killed thing. That's not why he's going to court. He's going to court for a whole different reason. Why does he have to go to court at the end of the book if this has nothing to do with Bob getting killed? I mean, kind of connected to it, but not really. Mackie, your number is 8. Mackie, you're at 8. All right, ready? So I'm going to do the chat challenge here in just a moment. So again, why does he have to go to court if it has nothing to do with Bob? I mean, not directly at least. Ready? Chat challenge. All right, and the correct answer is to see if he has to stay with his brother. It's correct, to see if he's going to get pulled away because the whole thing. All right. And about Johnny and Dahlia, I believe. Nope, you are incorrect on that one. We're talking about school and living with dairy and soda. You are correct. It had to deal with the living with dairy and soda and whether they have to go to a boys' home. Mackie, that brings you up to 9. So Mackie now at the 9 wins. Who's after that? And Maddie, you also have a win. Maddie, you are at 3 wins. And not Randy's group. And for a legal guardian is correct. Ledford. Not hurt. Ledford. That puts you at 5 wins, Ledford. Even though you sassed me, Ledford, and gave me a hurry up face and went to go take the quiz, you stepped back in just to be sassy, and you beat poor Squidkins, who was in 4th place. Blame Ledford, not me. And then said to after that one, yeah. So it was basically to see whether he could stay with his Derry or not, to see if Derry was a good. And that's why at the court case, they kept saying, is your brother doing a good job? He's like, yeah, but I killed Bob. They're like, but do you like soda? He's like, yeah, but I killed Bob. And that's why they were so confused, is because he was there for a whole different reason than what he thought. Squiddy?
Did you say it was called a boys' home? That was like the place he didn't want to go to, like the other, like foster care kind of? Okay.
You are correct. Yeah, I think they call it, it's basically foster care. They call it a boys' home in the book. It's just the name for it has changed over the years. Then you get to, let's see, that was out of order. And then this is where Ponyboy starts to drop out of school. Realize, much like many of you during virtual school, Ponyboy's depressed. And he was like, I don't care about any of this anymore. Life is awful. My best friend is dead. I'm getting beat up all the time. What's even worth doing it? He went from being like a straight A student to all of a sudden getting ready to try and drop out. And you're like, hashtag 2020. I feel the same way. Because that was the same issue that Ponyboy was having. And then he gets into the big fight with Derry, and they're like yelling at each other, and he and Derry are yelling back and forth. And realize Derry cares about him. Derry just doesn't want him to drop out of school and become an idiot. And so Derry's trying to make him become a smarter person. Ooh, I do have one more chat challenge for you. So his school essay, at the very end, we find out that his teacher says, you know what? I don't want to fail you. I want you to pass. So at the very end, he starts writing an essay. But here's my question for you. Hashtag 1965, solid reference. The end of the book, we should recognize for his essay that he writes for his teacher. Did you figure out what does Ponyboy write for that essay? When he has to write an essay for his teacher about a thing that means a lot to you. So what is it he writes for the essay to his teacher? Sophia, are you trying to ask me a question first? You look scared, Sophia.
I was gonna answer, but
Okay. I mean, you can in a moment. We're gonna do the chat challenge first, and then you can try. I'm throwing it out there's a chat challenge. So what is it he writes as the essay at the end? All right, ready? And wheeze, what'd you do, Zeke? And that challenge. Oh, Zeke, you inspired so many kids to come in. What'd you do? And nope, that one. And who comes back in? And the correct answer is, yeah, he writes the entire book. If you read that last page on page 180 and then read page 1, it's the exact same paragraph. For his essay, he writes the Outsider's book. So that is, which Olivia is it? Macnell, that was you. So Macnell finishes at 10 points, and then not Gone with the Wind. Senor comes in with 6 points now. And who's next? Hang on. Get off the screen. There we go. I can't see you. Is not Gone with the Wind. That's a different book. That's not the one he wrote. That one already existed. Parker, that's why I told you could leave several minutes ago. You are right, Elena. That's not what I was going with. And Owen, I'm going to give it to you. The beginning of the book, autobiography. Owen, I will give it to you also. Ledford, what's your question, Ledford?
On question 11, I think it was supposed to be a type-in one, but it's a multiple choice because all the answers are correct.
I will take a look. There's every chance I messed up. We're going to find out in a second, Ledford. All right, so let's find out how to jump to 11 here in a second. Well, then Ledford, hurry up and quickly memorize those answers. All right, there. Good.
Mr. Broviak.
Yes.
Also, on I think it's number 13. It was talking about like internal conflict, and there was 3 blank answers, and then there was one answer, and it was the right answer.
Weird. My regular classes, it never messes up. Canvas seems to eat answers all the time for you guys. All right, we're going to find out. All right, let's go ahead and then
It's also happening on number 12.
No, technology, I hate you so much. All right, well, now I'll go in there. Hang on. I'm not doing the video check. I'm going to go fix the quiz because the quiz hates me. All right, I even double checked it. It still has issues.
Also, I just wanted to say, on one of the answers, instead of grocery store, it says grocery story.
I give up. All right. Let me go in there and fix those answers because life.
Canvas really does not like you today.
Why? I worked so hard on that quiz. Why do you hate me, quiz? All right, let's see. Into here. So I'm getting ready to fix those. I would highly recommend, since you guys are the first class to take it, to quickly jump through there. You might have to go back in there and fix it, but then let's see, quizzes, memorize the answers before they get changed.
It's happening with number 14 too.
You're going to make Mr. Broviak go insane if he hasn't already.
I think it's just for certain people because only one of those that you guys said isn't. All the rest show the answers for me. And maybe it's just for certain people.
Checking, let's see.
It's messed up for me.
No, that's correct. So 10 is correct. So hang on. And you said 11. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. It's the blue part. I should not have the blue part on there. So the question is correct. I just actually didn't see it kept the blue part on there. So I'm removing the blue part. They are multiple choice. They are correct. Wait, no, that one is, no, hang on. No, that one's correct. Never mind. That one's correct again. So far, I don't think I'm wrong. So hang on. 10 and 11 are good. I think this one's good too. So hang on, I could be wrong.
11's not good for me. It just has all the answers.
Oh, you are correct. Let's change that when you were correct. There we go. And you are correct on that one. To here. This is why I like my paper quizzes with kids in here. All right, and then to there. Let's see. So 12 is now correct. Let's see. 13. Are you also having issues? Yep. 13. I switch you also. And well, in theory, for some of you, this should get a lot easier. And there. Yep, you are correct. Several of them did not register the correct type of question. Ugh. All right, let's see what happens now. It's only fitting as I go insane. All right.
Mr. Broviak,
Gosh.
on number 13 on the quiz, I can only see one answer, and it's the correct answer. So, like, I knew it was the correct answer, but I think it messed up.
Yeah, that's when you're going to want to refresh it, because that's one of the ones that was messed up that should be fixed now. But memorize that answer. I mean, if it's giving you the opportunity to cheat, I'm not going to yell at you for that. That's a me issue, not a you guys issue.
Mr. Broviak,
Yeah.
can I join a breakout room with you because I have a question about number 20?
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'm double checking my questions on here, and then absolutely.
Also, question 11 has all the right answers.
It shouldn't. I think if you refresh it, that's one I just fixed. That's let's see. I could be wrong. Yep. 11 is fixed now. So for everyone else who gets to 11, it's not saying that. It would just be you got lucky and got in there before I fixed it.
I refreshed it and it still says the same thing.
I don't know. Let's find out. Choose it, and then if it comes back and says that the answer was wrong, then go back and redo it. And just because I gave you guys like more than one attempt, so I'm hoping it doesn't screw it up for you.
Okay.
Okay, I don't need to join a breakout room. That's probably why mine said I was wrong.
All right. Is it number 20 you said? Let's see.
Yeah.
I finished the quiz.
All right, hang on. Good
So
job.
does
If you're
that mean
done,
I'm
you can
good
leave.
to like I'm good to leave. Okay, thank you.
Wait, Mr. Broviak.
Who needed to talk about question 20? You were correct. There was an issue. I fixed it. It should now give you credit for it.
Okay, I was just gonna say I didn't know if it was wrong, actually wrong, because I thought it was right, but
Nope, your answer was correct. It was having issues again. All right. It's only fitting we get to end the year with me having issues. Being
I
human.
might just need to redo the quiz because for some reason, none of them, like all of them that you fixed, it says that they're still the wrong answer.
Yeah, I gave you 3 attempts on this one because I made mistakes. So go back in, put the correct answers. Hey, but now you've seen the correct answer, so hopefully that makes it easier. Yay!
Question 12 says all of Bob's names, and question 13 just has Randy, and there are 3 blank ones.
Yeah, issues. Hang on. Macnell, your hand is still
Mr.
raised.
Broviak,
Ledfern?
on number 12, I submitted it before you changed it, and I put Bob Sheldon because, anyway, it counted it wrong when it was right, even though all the answers were right.
I can go in there and fix that too.
I think it's because it said it only was allowed to be one word.
Never mind.
This is why I can't attack you guys for making mistakes. Sophia, what's up, Sophia?
You might have already addressed this, but I just wasn't listening. But on question 11, it's still the little multiple choice answers.
And jump back in. I think once you start the quiz, it doesn't, I don't know. Canvas is all kinds of funky. So if you finish and it's counting things wrong, I gave you guys 3 ones. If it's showing you the answers, memorize the answers, then go back and retake it. I'm not going to count it against you. So I told it to count all the old answers right and the new answers right. So I'm trying to make it as nice as possible. I don't want to torture people any more than I normally do.
If we're done, can we go?
Yep, have a good break. Hopefully sanity's better to you than me. Oh, I should probably stop recording.